So if you want to get into the world of alternative relationships, over the course of this journey that you're about to embark on, you are going to meet people who live a variety of different lifestyles and sexual fetishes. And as long as they have found what works for them, you must support it. Because the day comes when you find what works for you, and you're going to want that same support. The best way to make sure that your rights as people in alternative relationships are protective is to protect the rights of other people in alternative relationships. At the time that this is being recorded, there is a situation happening in the United States where a law was passed to allow homosexuals to get married. And that law in certain areas of the United States has been revoked. The issue, and what people don't seem to grasp, is that the people and the organizations that have been actively looking to revoke that law would be the same people to revoke other laws that the general population simply take for granted. For example, the concept of divorce was never authorized by most religions. Religion would say, no, we don't believe in divorce. If you get married in, let's say, the church, and you end up getting divorced, you may never again marry in the church. However, the government says, no, we will support divorce, and if you got married in a church and then you got divorced through the government, you can get married by a government official in the future. There's an example of a religious order saying, we don't support this particular act, but the government does, so it gives people the option. The church was never forced to accept divorce. The church was never forced to make divorce part of their mantra. Now, there are some religions that, let's say you get married in a synagogue and you end up getting divorced. Not only will you have to register your divorce with the government, but you will have to register your divorce with the synagogue. I believe it's called a get. The government never forced the synagogue to recognize divorce. Each religious order has the right to set up how they believe divorce and marriage should occur if divorce should occur. When gays got the right to marry, it was never something that was forced on any religious order. It was something that gay people could do, register with the government. And the religious orders rallied enough voters to remove that right for gay people who wanted to be married, when it was never a right that was ever forced upon the church to begin with. Why is this dangerous? Because this is starting a behavior pattern, and if we have a repeating behavior pattern, what's next? Will the religious orders now say that divorce should be repelled for all people, regardless of the situation that you're in that would make you want to get divorced to begin with? It happened once. The church was never forced to accept divorce. The church was never forced to accept homosexuals in marriage. But they were able to convince voters to remove a law that government had for people who chose not to even follow the teachings of that church. What's next? It isn't just the fact that the law was revoked for homosexuals. The question is, now that we have started a repeating behavior pattern where laws of the people are being revoked, what's next? Who's their next target? This is why, if you've ever even contemplated having a non-monogamous relationship or an alternative relationship of some sort, and you see people that are in open relationships, and you see they're being persecuted, you need to be aware that if they get persecuted, who's next? And if you're into anything that would be considered alternative, you're next.